So welcome everyone. This is InterNACHI's monthly webinar for home inspectors. It's free. We do this every month. It's open to everybody. Don't need to be a member of InterNACHI. The recording and the slides will be available on our website at nachi.org/webinar. And my name is Ben Gromicko. I am from InterNACHI. InterNACHI is the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We are the world's largest organization of residential commercial property inspectors who perform about 10,000 home inspections every day. And we're in about 65 countries, several languages, and we do amazing things for our members in order to support them in their businesses so that they can be successful. And one of them is to do these webinars. In this webinar tonight, we're going to inspect this home essentially. And this home is about 7 years old, and it has about a $10,000 repair needed. It has major water problems in this home. I inspected it several years ago, and we're going to go over the pictures and see if you can find out where that major defect is. It's all about finding a major defect. And I propose that if you follow a standards of practice and follow your own system of inspecting, for example, if you're on the exterior, I always go clockwise around the property. And if you do something in a pattern over and over and follow a standard and feel comfortable about exceeding that standard when you feel it's necessary, then you should be able to find defects for your client. Some things, obviously, are hidden. You'll never see them. But if they are within your scope and within your abilities, then we're going to see tonight if you can find this major defect. So what I do first and foremost is try to get there early at the home inspection, and I do the roof. That for me is the most difficult, challenging thing to do. So I try to get that out of the way. And what I do is I take 2 cameras with me in my nail pouch, a carpenter's nail pouch, 2 pockets. I have a digital camera in my right hand to take pictures, and it's reduced down to low kilobytes, low resolution. We don't need 1.5 megabyte or anything like that. I take pictures very quickly, and I store them at low grade. I don't need anything high resolution. And on the left side, I have another digital camera for video. So I take video of the roof for my client, and then I play that video. So this is a bunch of pictures of the roof, and I'm inspecting this roof. It's a 7-year-old roof. It's laminated shingle. It looks really good. I'm taking pictures of not only the field, the surface of the shingle, but also the components that are penetrating through. So the chimney is my concern. The flashing boot around the vent pipe that comes up through the roof. I want to take a look at that. The flashing around the metal chimney. This is from the heating system and maybe the fuel burning appliances downstairs. That's the cap, aluminum cap on a steel pipe. There's the cap from my vantage point, which is I'm not on the roof. I couldn't make it to the roof. I bring tall ladders, a 28-foot fiberglass ladder, but I'm not getting on this roof. It's too dangerous. So I'm at the roof edge. You are not required by the standards of practice to take yourself up on any roof. And I take a picture for my client of my hand on the shingles. That shows that I am looking wherever I can and even touching and feeling as much as I can, using all my senses that I can. And so I'm taking various shots. I am required by the SOP to inspect the gutters. If they're filled with debris, I'm going to take a look at that. I'm looking for granules from the runoff. If it's an older roof, that's an indication that there's a problem. There's a soffit, and right there, while I'm on my roof, I can see underneath at the eaves, at the soffit, at the ventilation area, that there's a bump in the vinyl. So that needs to be fixed. Not sure how that happened. It's not melted. It's just a bump. No big deal. And these are secondary roofs. So this is something at the kitchen window or something, or a bay window. Take a picture of my ladder to prove that I went up as much as I could. It's actually slippery, so I didn't go up on the roof. It's more than a 412. So that's enough for me. But I want to get up as close as possible. I'm looking at the condition of the roof, looking for anything. Shingles missing, And as I go down my ladder and up my ladder, going in all these vantage points, I'm looking at the siding as well. There's more shingles, there's a cut valley, there's a gutter, there's another vantage point. The cap looks good on the wood burning fireplace. The flashing is loose in this area where the shingles meet the brick front, so those need to be tightened up. Looking at the sealant around this circular window, make sure that there aren't any cracks. It's watertight. Shingle roof looks really good. The stucco exterior of the chimney stack, the wood burning fireplace chimney stack, is in really good. So now I've gone through, I've gone around the house roof, taking my ladder, taking pictures, and looking at all of the things associated with the roof system, and the stucco of the chimney and the cap of the chimney in all directions looks pretty good. Looking at the flashing, so there's the cricket or saddle flashing on this wide chimney stack that needs it. If you have a wide chimney stack, like 30 inches or more wide, you need a saddle or a cricket in the back of the chimney, the upper part, to divert water around the chimney. The roofer dabs some sealant on top of the roofing nails where the ridge of that saddle flashing is. A little bit of stucco in the flashing area around the chimney. And then I notice right here, there's no kick-out flashing at the chimney. Now, kick-out flashing isn't step flashing. It isn't counter flashing. It's a piece of metal kind of shaped like this that kicks out water from that intersection where the shingles meet the side of the chimney, kicks it out from that area and into the gutter. And that's why they call it kick-out flashing. And if it doesn't kick it out, and if it is missing like that, it's missing, you're going to have, there's the illustration from our gallery. We have thousands of illustrations for our members to incorporate into their reporting software and on their websites, these illustrations. So this is a kick-out flashing. And without that kick-out flashing, you'll get water missing the gutter, right? And it streams down the stucco side. So I saw this from the ground. I knew it was a missing kick-out from the ground, but I confirmed it by getting up on my ladder, and it's dripping and it's staining the chimney stack on the outside. That could be washed off very easily. There's no kick out on the other side too. And there's just a little bit of runoff on that one. So I want to take a poll. So do you check for kick out flashing during your inspection? Do you check for kick out flashing during your inspection, your roof inspection or the exterior inspection? And you select yes, you know about kick out flashing, you inspect it. No, maybe you know about it or don't know about it and you don't inspect it, or you need maybe some training on what they are. And I'll give you 10 seconds to answer this. So click your answer there and click submit. You've got 5 more seconds. Most of you have voted. A couple of you haven't. Wake up. Hey, we got a poll. All right. So I'm going to close the poll. And I'm going to share results. So yeah, most of you, awesome. That's really awesome. Most of you know about what a kick out flashing is and you inspect it. Some of you don't know what a kick out flashing is, and some of you don't inspect them. And I would encourage you to find the training that we have available. If you need to find out where that training is, we have articles, we have courses, we have a stucco course about flashing and a roof course about flashing. So thanks for taking that poll. That's what I thought. I thought you guys would, and gals, would be inspecting the kick-out flashing. So while I'm up on the roof, I'm also checking the chimneys. So it's not just solid fuel burning fireplace chimneys, but it's the fuel chimneys, the metal chimneys. And I see some corrosion here, and I wrote a little note that this is galvanic corrosion. It's a chemical process which where one metal corrodes the other one, and it's dissimilar metals. And when there's a potential difference between the two different metals, that's the driving force that causes corrosion. And the difference between the aluminum cap and the galvanized metal stack pipe is great enough to develop corrosion. So that's what that is. And I continue. Now I'm on the ground. According to the SOP, you inspect the roof and the flashing and obviously the shingle materials and the penetrations, and now you're going down to the gutters. So think of water. I think of water. That's why I essentially start at the roof. I think of how water moves. And so water falls down, it hits the roof, and it's diverted away, and it goes into the gutters, and then downspouts, and then onto the ground, or maybe underground, and it's diverted away from the structure, right? So I'm thinking of how water moves, gutters, downspouts, kickouts, more kickouts. I go to every downspout and confirm where that kickout is, and I take a picture of it. And if the the splash block needs a little bit of adjustment, like this one, no big deal. I might even do it myself, but I'll put it in the report as like an improvement or an issue. So according to the standards, follow the standards. You can find the defects that are within the scope of the standards. The inspector will inspect the roof covering materials. We did that. Gutters, did that. Downspouts, yep. Vents, yep. Flashing, skylights, chimney, other roof penetrations. And then when I go into the attic space, I cover the SOP, which says get underneath the roof if you can and take a look at the structure of the roof. Now, if you don't like ladders and getting up on roofs, like me, I don't like it. I do it, though, for my client. We have a tool called the spectroscope, and it's a 35-foot pole. You stick a camera, a Wi-Fi connected camera, up on the top of the pole. You extend it up. You hook it up to your iPad or iPhone, and you can take pictures like this one. And you can also zoom in and zoom in even greater. So you essentially can do a roof inspection from the ground. It's called Spectroscope, and it's at nachi.org/spectroscope. Now let's go to the exterior. This is the standards of practice. This essentially tells me what I need to do. This is the procedure, the inspection procedure that I take when I do the exterior, and essentially follow the same thing. Let's follow the same pattern and look at the same things over and over again. And if there's something custom or something different, I add that narrative to my inspection report software that I use. So I'm taking a look at the grading, how that window is going to get wet, that basement window, because there's no clearance between that window and the ground. So that's a concern. There's a window well to prevent things from going into the window, intruding into the window. The exterior brick looks fantastic. Where the windows meet the brick, there's dissimilar materials, and that sealant is an important way to divert water away. So there's siding, there's window shutters, there's components around. So I'm going around and I'm inspecting. When I get to a door, you're required to inspect all exterior doors. I take a picture of the top, the bottom left, the bottom right. And I'm looking for water, essentially, and damage. Steps, stoops, stairways, sidewalks, driveways. These are all within the standards of practice. Taking a look around while I'm doing the exterior. I do the exterior inspection on my feet. I don't take a ladder to do the exterior, so I can't get the second floor windows. There's vegetation hiding some of the siding, so I note that. Siding looks great. The corners, here's a slider, top, bottom right, bottom left. I'm looking for areas of water penetration, essentially. Here's the chimney stack. See the stucco on the left, siding on the right. The joint in between needs to be sealed up to prevent water intrusion. There's fresh air intake for the fireplace, Looks like there's a dryer vent pipe right next to the AC unit disconnect. There's a little bit of sealant that's missing at this window. And now we do the components on the outside, the water spigots, the electric receptacles. Right next to this water spigot is a PVC pipe, 2-inch pipe. I think it's a sump pump on the outside. Haven't gone in yet, but I think it's a sump pump, and it's going down underneath. So I disclaim it. I inspect it. It looks good. I assume I know what it is, but I'm not sure where it's going. It actually discharged to the driveway. And I'm looking also for depressions where puddles can form. And And I'm also looking for things that I don't know what they are, so I can disclaim it out of my inspection. Water features like this, a timer for the lawn sprinklers is beyond the scope of my inspection. Many inspectors include it. Some are required to inspect it, and depending on what state you're in, but at least take a picture of it, and I disclaim it. So there's the brick exterior. I think that's a bathroom fan exhaust. There's while I'm doing the outside, I got to do the electrical system, so the other systems. So have we come across any water penetration, major water penetration, the kickoff flashing? But I think that's about it. So we're still looking for the major defect. And how are we doing that? Well, we're doing the same procedure that we do on every inspection, and we're following the standards of practice, right? So on the outside, I'm doing the exterior inspection, but another system comes by. So I pop out of my software I'm using or my checklist, and I go back into another system, the electrical system, and I inspect. I'm required to inspect the meter base. There's the insulated conductors going into the house. There's the raceway. It's an underground service line coming up into the meter. And there's the electric service grounding wire and rod. The rod is buried. And if you want to know more about, this is a touchy subject and an issue that home inspectors struggle with a lot because there's a lot to know. We have hundreds of articles in our inspector library. And this is one of the URLs to a particular article about grounding electrodes. It's nachi.org/grounding-electrodes. And we also, again, have a gallery of illustrations that we developed. Some of them are 3D, some of them are 2D, like this one. And this illustration can be inserted into your inspection report. It shows the grounding electrode conductors, where they should be, and what you're going to inspect, the grounding and the bonding, and the jumper wire, for example, over the water meter, and the bonding wire between the hot and cold copper pipes at the hot water tank. And that's at nachi.org/gallery. So there we go, nachi.org/gallery. And the gas, there's a natural gas system coming into the house, servicing the house. That's the gas meter, gas shutoff valve. I like to identify it, stick the picture in the report. I don't like that that's not sealed. I like sealant there. I don't want mice to come in, vermin and water. A lot of dense vegetation around the siding. There's another water spigot. It's frost-free. This is northeast. This is a house in Pennsylvania, so it has to have frost-free outdoor hose spigots or bibs. Exterior receptacles, you test them for GFCIs. Try to reset them before you leave the house. There's the cooling system. Another system pops up. So the cooling system, there's the outdoor condenser unit. It needs to be, the vegetation around it needs to be trimmed away. I take a picture of the manufacturing label. Every inspection I do this, so I can get the information that I can retrieve off of this label, which includes the date of the manufacturing date. And there's the electric disconnect for the AC unit, condenser unit on the outside within sight. It's attached to the house securely. The wire is good. The suction line is insulated. Minor rust at the top. The fins are okay. There's the dryer vent. This is a problem. You can see the pipe interior is disconnected from the vent pipe, and there's a space here, and the vent is exhausting, likely, right into the wall cavity. So that's a potential problem there, and that should be fixed. So poll number 2. Speaking about carrying a ladder to the roof or carrying a ladder around the exterior, do you carry a tall ladder to get to the second story roof or edge? So we're really interested in this because we have a standards of practice that does not require you to get to stand on the roof, but you have to go to the edge or inspect the roof from the ground or from other vantage points. And if you had a tool like the spectroscope, would you be interested in it? So do you carry tall ladders to get to the second floor second story roof edge. So I'll give you just a couple more minutes. We have over 500 people doing this poll, by the way. And so I'll give you just a couple more seconds. Most of you have already voted. We're at 90% voting. So I'll close the poll in 3, 2, 1. And there's the results. It's a tie. Some of you carry, some of you don't. So that's interesting. So I would suggest that whenever I'll get rid of the poll. Whenever I carried a tall ladder to get to the roof, when I got to the roof, boy, I found problems that I thought to myself I wouldn't have been able to see from the ground. So I think a tool like the spectroscope is really fantastic. So we've developed that tool, and I keep talking about it, but it's an excellent tool. You may want to consider that in order to take pictures, if you're into pictures as well, of the roof that you could not physically reach. You can do a roof inspection from the ground, essentially. Heating system. There's a standards of practice. It's very simple. Inspect the heating system. However, I like to break it up into my own components, so I exceed the standards essentially by breaking things down into components like the thermostat and identify the type of thermostat. I like to see programmable thermostats. Electric shutoff switches. This is an emergency shutoff switch at the top of the basement stairs. So there's a basement stair. We're going down to the basement where the heating system is located. And there's the gas-fired heating system. That's the back side. So you got to go around to get to the front. And there's the evaporator. Remember, the air conditioner on the outside has a lot of vegetation around the outside of the condenser on the outside. So the evaporator coil here, I'm looking for really condensation problems. There's the suction line and liquid line. The liquid line is the smaller line. Suction line is the insulated, thicker line. There's the condensate line. When the air conditioner evaporator is running, produces condensate. It dehumidifies the house, and the condensate drains out from the tray by the evaporator, inside the evaporator, and it drains down into a pump, often, not always. And the pump is plugged in, and it has a discharge tube in this one that goes into a sump pump bucket. And it's plugged in, has a switch. There's a serial number, a model number of the evaporator. There's the switch there. It's also a service switch for the entire unit to turn the system off. And I do that when I get to inspecting more, and I pull the panels off. So there's the gas shutoff valve. Just doing my standard procedural inspection checklist, and I won't miss a thing. So I've got it all written down. You can either use, even if you use paper and pencil checklist, if you do the same thing over and over again and break things down into systems and components, you should be able to find what you need to find within your scope. And I'd like to take a picture of this. This is identifying the type of heating system. So we know we have a warm air, it's a forced air, and it's I like to identify the efficiency. It's very easy. It's low, medium, or high. If it's high efficiency, there are a couple characteristics that you can identify a high efficiency heating system. There's usually plastic pipes, 2 plastic pipes. One is exhaust and one is intake, because for a high efficiency heating system, it's going to suck outside air into the chamber, and the burner chamber is sealed. This one is not sealed. It's open, so you can see open flames and open burners. So now you know it's not high. Is it low? Well, low efficiency has natural draft. It doesn't have a fan on the draft. And you can see right here that it has a fan that induces a draft. So combustion air comes into the burners, it goes through the heat exchanger, and then is pulled out and pushed then through the exhaust pipe. And remember, we saw that little bit of galvanic corrosion on that exhaust pipe chimney at the top. So it's mid-efficiency. Blower door, I open it up because that's where the air filter is. I take a look at the air filter. I can see the size now. 1625-1 is usually a standard. It's 1 inch. The arrow, which you can see up on the top there, is pointing in the right direction. The burners are in good shape. Looking for really rust and corrosion when you're this close. There's the pilot. There's the draft inducer fan. Take a look at the vent connectors, the pipes of the exhaust coming from the heating system. It goes up into the chimney stack. There's the clean out there, and the top pipe is from the hot water tank. So the smaller pipe is on top of the bigger pipe. And goes through the first floor and second floor and into the attic and through the roof, and with fire stops along the way. I take a picture of the service tag, so there's no recent service, so that should be in your. It's in my inspection report as a recommendation. If it hasn't been serviced, I recommend service and cleaning prior to moving in, prior to closing, because the heating and service, the HVAC technician is a lot better than me. They're experts in HVAC, so we should get that person in. In fact, HVAC contractors should love home inspectors because they're probably in business because of us. Last year we did 5 million home inspections, and a lot of us recommended HVAC contractors to come in when there wasn't a recent service recorded. So a couple other pictures that I couldn't possibly write down. Next system is plumbing system. So we haven't found the major defect. There is a $10,000 major defect in this home. I promise you. I'm not just goofing around here. So go into the system. I'm looking for it, right? I'm not going to jump ahead because I think I know where it is. I'm going to do my standard operating procedure, my inspection procedure checklist. So drain waste vents. So here's the clean out. I like to identify where the clean out is and where it goes through the house. And I take a picture of all of the pipes that I can see from the lowest portion of the building, and then I move up. It's usually just the basement or crawl space. And there's all the fittings. It's all supported. It looks really good. I'm looking for water leaks, especially like a first floor toilet flange that's loose and it's damaging but not in this house. I don't know where that defect is. So all the pipes look great. The plumbing. So that's drain. And then I inspect the plumbing coming in, supply. So here's the main water line coming in, ball valve pointing in the right direction, water meter, another ball valve on the other side of the meter too, so that they can be closed off and the water meter can be replaced or fixed. There's the jumper cable, a bonding jumper wire cable. Check valve. So on the water line coming in, and in this jurisdiction, there's a check valve on the supply coming into the house. So water cannot go back into the public water system and contaminate, right? So there's a check valve. So the thing is about a check valve is when water heats up, it expands. If there's a check valve, it can't go anywhere. So on the hot water tank where water is expanding, there should be an expansion tank so that that expansion of the hot water is absorbed by the tank. So there's a missing expansion tank. And there's also a missing bonding wire in between the cold and hot pipes. So there's the illustration we just saw earlier. You can get that at the nachi.org/gallery. There's a TPR valve, temperature pressure relief valve, and discharge pipe, and it's leaking. Why is it leaking? It's not a temperature problem. It's a pressure problem. We have that check valve coming in. Water is expanding, can't go anywhere because there's no bladder tank holding that expansion. Oh, thank you. And it's discharging into the tub, into a bucket. So that's probably been happening for 7 years, and they haven't figured it out yet until they hired a good home inspector trained by InterNACHI to inspect this home. And there's an article about expansion tanks. Everything that you need to know about doing a home inspection, we have available either as an article online or as a course. And here's where you go to find the world's largest inspection article library. It's at nachi.org/articles. So it's nachi.org/articles. Yeah? Okay. Haven't found the major defect yet. It exists. I take a picture of the setting of the hot water tank so I can see that if it's on extremely hot, there's something wrong. Maybe a lot of corrosion built up in the hot water tank. If it's low or off, there's something else going on. The size of the hot water tank, the manufacturing date of the hot water tank is there. For an energy inspection, you want to grab the size of the hot water tank and the year. That's a good, easy thing to do. Cold water line coming in, hot water line going out. There's an FVIR, flammable vapor ignition resistant system at the bottom of the hot water tank. Vent pipe looks okay. It's a draft. It's not high efficiency. Shut-off valve for the gas. Vent connectors going up through. You're not required to move the dead front cover of the main electrical panel, the service panel. However, you are required to identify where that main disconnect is and the amperage if it's readily readable or accessible or labeled, if it's labeled. Identify. So my fingers, I take pictures of my fingers all the time. The 2 means 200 amps. There's the main disconnect. There's room for expansion. All of the breakers are on. Sometimes when I remove the dead front cover, I want to make sure that all the breakers are on or some of them are off because I can't remember sometimes. So I take a picture of what breakers are on. In this instance, all the breakers are on and there's room for expansion. And there's no missing kick out plates. And the breakers are not labeled properly. So every individual breaker is supposed to be specifically labeled. So lighting isn't very specific, is it? And the system was initially inspected and approved. There's a service line coming in. There's low voltage there, probably for the doorbell. There's phone and cable coming in. I take the front cover off and I take a look at the inside. You don't have to do this. This is what I do. This is not according to the standards. This is exceeding the standards of practice. And I take a look at the bonding, the grounding, the opacities. In this home, I didn't expect to see a whole lot wrong. It's an unfinished basement. Sometimes when I see a finished basement with no permits, there's a lot of electrical problems. And so I'm taking now a look at the foundation. The foundation, we're inspecting the foundation and the structure. If there's a crawl space, there's a crawl space. And the foundation looks great. I don't see any problems, except I see some old stains, water stains. Maybe when the house was being built, I see efflorescence. That's that white stuff. That's salt deposits left behind when water moves through masonry and pulls that salt with it. It accumulates as the water evaporates. It accumulates up there. That can be wiped off, but essentially efflorescence is cosmetic, but it could be an indication of something else, especially when you have efflorescence on the outside of a building. So efflorescence is an indication. It itself is no big deal, but it's an indication of moisture intrusion or at least past prior water problems. So this one was a concern of mine because the area around the main drainage pipe was patched, but the water marks were on top of the patch. Just like this one, there's water marks on the floor nearby this area of the foundation, poured concrete foundation reinforced, but it looks like there's water stains on top of the patch. So that was an indicator. I needed to call that out to my client and make sure that maybe the seller knows something or at least monitor it. And we have an article, obviously, on efflorescence. We actually have a really cool video that we embedded, how water can be absorbed by capillary action through a large stone vertically. Foundation looks great. I'm taking a lot of pictures. I see insulation on the band rim joist, which is good for energy efficiency. It's a restriction to my visual inspection. Don't like that very much. I like to see everything. So I move insulation. I randomly select places to move insulation. I pull it back and I pull it and then I push it back. That's a 3-tine hoe that I'm using, 3 little tines. And there it is there. You can buy it off of Amazon for $20. It's a 3-tine hoe. So I actually straighten one tine and then bend slightly the other one and then really curve the other one. And all of those really help me move insulation and inspect things. And then while I was moving insulation, I found signs of water, like a water leak. Like, what is going on? I see water stains. Now I'm really pulling insulation off. There's water marks here. And now I see water stains on the foundation, a lot of water marks now. This is below the fireplace. I see water marks in the basement below a fireplace. So something upstairs must have spilled. So I go upstairs. I look at the hearth, the surroundings, and I'm taking a look at the interior. There's a factory built fireplace The walls look great. The left, the right, the back. I don't know where the water's coming from. I pull off the insulation now, and I find this. So this is major water damage, wood rot, mold, and it's actually wet to the touch. And you can stick your hand through floor joists and the band rim joist. And I stuck my screwdriver through the floor joist there and took a picture of it. And it's coming from here. It's coming from the kickout. So remember the missing kickout at the chimney flashing? Yeah. So there's a little hole where water is traveling from that little hole down the chimney stack about 30 feet into the basement and causing water damage, not just in the basement, but all along the way from that little hole from the missing kickout all the way down to the basement. The chimney stack is mush underneath the stucco. It is completely rotten. If it's rotten down in the basement, it's wet and rotten all the way up. So that's the major defect. And the issue is visually, it's not that bad. Look at the missing kickout. It's doing a little water staining on the stucco on the side of the chimney on this side. And actually, this is the side that has the most damage. So if you are looking at it from the ground, this would be the right side of the chimney stack with missing flashing. And down in the basement, that side below it, 30 feet down, has the most damage. So all the water actually wasn't missing and running down the side of the stucco. It was going in the stucco, under, and all the way down. It's completely rotten. They had to rebuild the entire chimney stack. So now I'm looking for water everywhere. I mean, if that is going to leak and cause major damage on a 7-year-old home, now I'm looking for everything and anything, right? Now I'm paranoid. I'm looking like crazy. But I really don't find anything. There's the sump pump. The float is accessible, so I reach down and I grab it and I turn it on. It has a check valve. It discharges outside. Remember that discharge where the water faucet is? It's plugged in. There's the water spigots. They're turned off. The valves are turned off. Smoke detector down in the basement. So I want to do another poll. And we've got 20 minutes left in the webinar. So I'm going to speed up because we found the major defect. And it was that missing kickout. So here's a quick poll. Do you sometimes move insulation during your visual inspection? Do you sometimes move insulation during your visual inspection? And I'll give you 30 more seconds. People are just piling in with the votes. Awesome. Half of you already voted. 75% of you already voted. So I'll give you a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, a couple more people are still voting. All right, so do you sometimes move insulation during your visual inspections? Well, yeah, it's yes and sometimes. Yep. Only a few people never move insulation. You're not required to disturb insulation according to the standards of practice, but I do. And this is one of the indications where, I kind of gambled and moved some insulation for my client just for my own interest, and I won out. It's like I hit the lottery for my client. So now that influences my decisions on my next rim joist that's covered with insulation. Am I going to move some insulation? I really nailed it. So I don't know what would have happened had I not found that major defect for my client and they moved in and then they found it. I'm not sure, but all I can tell you is what happened, and this is what happened. So I took you through the steps that I went through, and it wasn't obvious, but we found that major defect. And so that's the poll there. All right, so we'll blow through the rest of the inspection really quick. The attic was great. I try to identify the thickness of the insulation, the type of the insulation, any absence of insulation that should be there. There's the pipe, the flue pipe. In my mind, I know I'm going to be seeing a few things in the attic that I want to confirm are okay. The exhaust pipes from the heating appliances, the fuel burning appliances down in the basement, they're going through the roof. And the ventilation. So the soffits have vents. Remember that bump in the soffit? There's ventilation, there's trays, and blown-in cellulose, paper, cellulose insulation, and the vent pipes from the bathrooms, drain waste and vent pipes, truss built. I see no damage. It's built well. I don't see any water leaks or roof leaks. And then I go to the bathrooms. That's the next thing I do. Now I'm in the interior. What do I have left? I have garage, kitchen, bathrooms, and interior, right? So I do the bathrooms, and I find a defect here. I pound on the tiles, by the way, with my hand. I actually literally pound on the tiles and take a picture of me hitting the tiles. And I have a defect here. On the shower, I like to, worst case scenario is you have water up against the shower wall, and so I take a picture of me running water up against that panel and trying to make it leak. So I run water at more than one fixture, at 2 fixtures in each bathroom. And when I do that, there's no water running at the sinks, the bathroom sinks. They shut down. So I ran water at the tub and at the shower. And I tried to turn on the sink, and there's no water. There's absolutely hardly any flow coming out. So now I turn off the tub. Does that make a difference? No. There's no flow coming out. So in the standards of practice, it says that you're going to run 2 fixtures at the same time simultaneously in a bathroom. And this is the reason why. Sometimes it happens like that. And so you got ground faults. There's the bathroom fan, a lot of inspection restrictions. And here is an air leakage area. This is an attic access. This is a little space through the master bedroom closet that goes into an unfinished space above the garage. This is like an open window. This is equivalent to having a window open 24/7, summer, winter. There's conditioned air exhausting out of this. There's such a natural draft in the home that there's air moving through this. It's not sealed and it's not insulated properly. And the heating and cooling bills are probably skyrocketing through here. And this is like a huge hole in the second floor of this home. The taller the home is, the more draft you have, right? The more movement you have of energy and conditioned air. Stack effect. And this is a hole at the top of the stack effect. So there's the unfinished attic space. It looks great. Switches, receptacles, windows. I can see just by doing that, they're tilted in. Bottom sash tilts in. Top sash is fixed. It's vinyl, double insulated. Window, receptacles. So it's looking good. The interior looks just fine. Second bathroom, pound on the walls, run the tub, run the sink, nothing. No flow. Zip. There's no way you can be happy with that. I don't know how they've survived for 7 years with this problem. I don't know what the diagnosis is, but I've identified the major defect. Plumbing access panels are really important to me. I open them up if I can and run water at the same time. No plumbing leaks. I'm on the first floor now. I'm looking at the door. Remember, I take a look at the door, the top of the door, the bottom of the door, looking for wood rot or anything like that. I shake the railings, looking at the interior. At least I'm documenting inspection restrictions and disclaiming that I can't see everything on the interior. Opening doors and windows, slider doors. There's the fireplace. I inspect the interior, open and close the damper if it's readily manually openable and accessible. The side walls, the back wall, the floor. There's the damper. First floor half bath, GFCIs. There's the gas supply line to the gas dryer, a shutoff valve. I don't like the hoses. They should be stainless steel braided mesh hoses or some kind of pressure tested hoses for the clothes washer. It's plugged in. There's some bumpers for and there's a missing catch pan underneath. I love catch pans underneath the clothes washer. Garage. So we're doing the garage now. 2 garage door openers. I open and close them. The garage door openers are good. The sensors are kind of high. I want them a little bit lower. No big deals. A lot of restrictions, taking pictures, the ground faults, windows are good, the framing is good, pressure treated sill plate on top of a foundation wall, the concrete floor is sloped, a lot of inspection restrictions. I love this picture because I'm trying to see everything, but I can't. There could be a termite infestation and carpenter infestation, but I've got a lot of restrictions here. You can't write all this down. A picture is worth 1,000 words, truly. Steps up to the door is in good shape. Ceiling is great. So I took like 30 pictures, 40 pictures just in the garage. I mean, the garage inspection is really important. And then some interior floor pictures. We don't inspect carpeting, but I noticed that seam, no big deal. The vinyl flooring is okay. The kitchen, now I'm at the appliances. I run water at the fixtures, turn on the garbage disposal. It is vibrating the heck out of that metal sink. So something's up with the garbage disposers. GFCI protection on all the receptacles. There's 4 right there. Dishwasher, I turn it on. Turn on the appliances, the stove, the oven, the vent. It's a recirculating fan. It doesn't go outside. And here's another poll. So our last poll, which is kind of important, it's an agreement system. Do you use the InterNACHI free online agreement system? InterNACHI provides all members with a free online agreement system. It's an electronic system. It electronically allows your client to read and sign and agree to your agreement terms, the terms of the agreement. And we have that system online. It's fantastic. Many inspectors use it. Many do not. So we would like to know in this webinar from our attendees, do you use InterNACHI's online agreement system? And you have to be a member in order to be able to use it. And so, and it was written by 5, most of you are voting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So most of you don't use it or don't know about it. Or maybe you're non-members and you can't even access it. So it was, I don't want to say it was written by our legal counsel, but our legal counsel developed this agreement. It's the InterNACHI Home Inspection Agreement. And so if you need an attorney, every home inspector needs an attorney or some legal advice. Get your attorney to review it, but it went through our legal counsel already, and we put those agreements, there's several of them. If you're doing a radon inspection, there's another agreement addendum. If you're infrared certified, there's a thermal agreement addendum. There's a termite. There's all these other agreements and addendums. And the main home inspection agreement contract between you and your client is also available, and it's online. So it's very easy. You don't have to if your client can't make it to the inspection, how do you get a signature? Well, you can get an electronic signature. And the system has all these redundancies, and it was passed by the legal counsel of InterNACHI. So I recommend contacting me, and I can help you find that agreement system. It's a tool within your membership account. So we performed a home inspection. There's a major $10,000 repair needed at this house, or correction needed. Major water penetration, water damage. The chimney was torn down completely and repaired and rebuilt. It was because of a missing piece of flashing called a kick-out flashing at the gutter end where the gutter meets the side of the chimney, especially a stucco chimney. So that was our home inspection. Now, let's do a home energy report, and I can do one in 4 minutes. So I bet I can do one in less than that. So you go into members only, you log in, and there's a tool within your account called the energy tool, and it's right there, the energy tool. You click that. It goes to the software that helps you write a home energy report, And let's type in a zip code, 19465. That's Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Generate a report for my client. Start a report. Currently, everybody has 1,000 credits in their account. So, and we're not charging for using this software. Customer information, there's my name, email, phone number, 1234 Logan Road. It's not Allentown, it's Pottstown, Pennsylvania. It was built in 95. There's a family. My client is a family of 5 with 2 children, ages 6 to 13, and 1 child that's really small. And this is important because the home energy report is customized to the people that are moving into the home. We don't care about the seller and their utility bills. It doesn't mean anything to my client, because when my client moves in, they're going to be a different size. And it's actually according to the number of people moving in, the occupants, and the age of the occupants, because a little kid uses energy different than an adult. And it defaults the electric bills, so I don't have to worry about that, and the gas bills. The house was facing, there it is. Can you figure it out? This is a morning inspection. So the house is facing west. Oh, I lost my report. So the front of the house is facing west. It's 2 stories above ground, 8-foot ceilings. It's 2,300 square feet. It's a big house. 2,300 square feet, unconditioned basement, unconditioned attic. There's approximately 120 light fixtures. None of them are energy efficient. There's no installation of the foundation. Attic floor insulation, R30. Walls are R11, R13. Air tightness, the house was air leaky. Remember the access panel to the unfinished space, not sealed up, so it's not airtight. There were no skylights. There's about 100 square feet of window glazing in the front of the house and about the same in the back. Not that many on the side of the home. On the right side, about 75 square feet, let's say, on the left and right side. There was a closed washer dryer. Is not Energy Star. Gas dryer, 1 refrigerator, water heater, 1995, natural gas, about 50 gallons. The thermostat, remember, it's programmable. Remember, I took a picture of it. Gas central furnace, 1995. The efficiency is good. I'm just typing in the year. The energy calculator will figure everything out if I just use the year. I don't have to figure out the efficiency or the capacity in BTUs or anything like that. If I know the year, the type of heating system or cooling system, central air, and the year, it'll figure everything else out for me. So I type that in. Let me see. Unconditioned basement, where the ducts are they insulated? No. Are they sealed? No. There's no boilers, no house fan, no pool, no spa. Hit generate report. Oh, I wasn't looking at how long this took. That must have took 2 minutes. That's the longest part of this. The other longest part is waiting for the report to be generated, because that information now is being sent to Berkeley Lab, and they're calculating it. The Department of Energy's laboratory is calculating all that data that you just entered, particularly the zip code, where that house is located, the climate zones and everything like that. And then calculating that stuff, making a report for you, and you get to review your report one more time. If you made an error, you can update it, or you can click that little button that says View Report. And then I want to view it before I email the link to the report to my client. So second longest part is waiting for the report to be generated. Here it comes. It's really cool graphics. These bars tell you, this is a quick indication of how much this home costs your client if they move in to heat, cool, and operate their home. This is information that no one on the planet has except for you using this reporting tool. Again, the utility bills, existing utility bills of the seller are irrelevant. This report, this home energy report, is customized to the client moving in, and it tells them, it gives them a quick idea of how much this home is going to cost to operate when they move in. They know the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, but they don't know the cost of energy of operating the home. And you have provided this using our tool under 2 minutes, right? Under 4 minutes. Has video, it gives really nice estimates, breaks it down into components. It's dynamic, it's engaging. There are a lot of links. There's some free guides they can download, some free guides. There's a heating efficiency and cooling, air leakage and air sealing, which is appropriate to this home because it has a hole in it. Small appliances, breaks it down. There's a video about choosing LEDs and CFLs, hot water, and then the energy upgrades. The first upgrade is very easy. It starts out with the lowest cost, highest return. So the biggest thing your client can do is, and these are all upgrades. Remember, an upgrade is non-negotiable, so this isn't going to kill the deal. Upgrades are after a home buyer moves into the home, right? These aren't major defects that need correction. These are upgrades. These are suggestions to upgrade things. The house is perfect energy-wise, but upgrade it with your new light bulbs. So the priority 1 is light bulbs. Priority 2, add insulation around your ducts because they weren't insulated, if you remember. If you replace your clothes washer, pick an Energy Star one. If you replace your hot water tank, pick an energy efficient hot water tank. This is in the future. If you need to replace your furnace, it's not saying replace your furnace. It's when in the future, obviously, everything breaks down. But when you replace it, choose an energy efficient one, obviously. And then have a professional seal your ducts, not just insulate them, but seal them so they don't leak. Have a professional seal the cracks and leaks in your home. Remember, it had an air leakage problem. The report recommends, and it gives you a cost estimate on sealing your home. And that's the report. And you can do that. And then you simply highlight this URL at the top here and email that to your client. And that takes them directly to the report. So that you can do that in 4 minutes. In 3 minutes, you can do a homeowner newsletter. We have a free customized homeowner newsletter. So you go again to NACHI.org, the homepage, click members only login. You log in and you get into your account and you go to the homeowner newsletter button. This is a tool within your account and you can do a homeowner newsletter. This is customized to, again, your client that's moving in. So 19465 email address so that they can receive it. You don't have to enter birthdays, but you can if you want to. Approximate age of your client. My client has children and has a dog. Now on the right side, you can see that your newsletter is being customized. Thank you for choosing me as your home inspector. I'm going to send you a newsletter. It's going to include, and as I choose things on the right side, it populates information in the newsletter. So it had an attached garage. It had trees on the property. You can see on the right side. The newsletter is building. It had a basement. It had a fireplace. I had an issue with the roof flashing. GFCI's plumbing system had a problem. HVAC needed service. There was a bump in the soffit. Exterior wiring, electrical panel, smoke detectors, a little bit of grout. No grout in the bathrooms. Gutter, deck, fireplace. Interior railings, water heater was leaking. Pressure was a problem. Flooring, dryer vents. Yes, I have a problem with the dryer vent. Moisture intrusion. Stucco, yeah, let's put that in there. Energy efficiency problem, yep, and nothing else. Maybe mold. Let's go for mold at the bottom. And so the newsletter is customized. So it's going to send that client a newsletter that you customized. It's not generating articles that are general and generic. It is actually customized to your client, their needs, and the home's condition, and the defects or issues that you found in the home, and the features of the home. Really customized report, and it's free to InterNACHI members. There's 100-day inspection coverage, extra value. It only takes 2 minutes. Go to 100daycoverage.com. It only takes a minute to give your client a home maintenance book, InterNACHI's home maintenance book, now that you've had a home inspection. It doesn't take any time at all to put this into your business. put this logo up on your site. It is at nachi.org/honor. It's a $10,000 honor guarantee backed by InterNACHI. And for every course that we have, just about every course that's required for membership, we have a special certification logo. So if you take the HVAC, for example, HVAC course, you could download the HVAC inspector logo. If you take the mold course, you can take the download the mold inspector. And what do I do with these? Well, if I had a website, I would I take all the courses, I get all the certification logos, and I put all my certifications on that page that says certifications or my qualifications, click here. And your client in the middle of the night visiting your website when you don't even know it will visit that qualifications page and boom, I am certified in just about everything because I have taken a training and certification course through InterNACHI to do garage inspections. And we actually have a video training course on garage inspections. And you can find those at nachi.org/logos. All right. That was 1 hour of a free training webinar for home inspectors. And I thank you so much for attending. Please don't stop asking questions. I see them coming in. Obviously, I can't answer them during the webinar. I've taken enough of your time. And if you need to contact me, we're here all the time. And you can contact me. My name is Ben Gromicko. There's my contact information, ben@internachi.org. And there's my phone number. That's my cell phone. Call me anytime. Ask me for anything. And I'm here to help. And thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you next month. Don't know what we're going to go over in the next training webinar. Why don't you tell me, suggest something that we should do in the next training webinar, and I'll see you next month. Bye, everybody.